Hello, and welcome to the Leisurely Learning EquatIO series. In this series, we will go over in depth how to use the various parts of the EquatIO extension to best support your students. In this video, we will be reviewing how to open EquatIO on the web, in G Suite apps, and how to change the settings. Let's get started. Okay, so here I am in my account, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the web, and I've got open here, this is a video from Khan Academy. So a lot of people like to use Khan Academy as a reference point. We've got some math here on the page, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to open up EquatIO. Now to do that, we're going to go and we're going to press on the blue diamond in the top right corner. If this is your first time doing it, you may get a pop-up that prompts you to select your account and allow permissions. Now, on the web, you really only have these few buttons. So the first button here is a move button. So if you want to move something to a different spot on the page, you can do that. The next button here on the far right is Discoverability. Now, when you press that, what it's going to do is it's actually going to look for math on the page. Now, because this is a video and the math is embedded in the video, there's really nothing for it to discover. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the screenshot reader. So I'm going to click on the screenshot reader, and it's going to turn blue, and you're going to notice that now my cursor is a plus sign. So I can take that plus sign and I can draw a box around the math on the page. Give it a second to think.
9/10 plus 1/6 equals.
Okay, and what it will do is it will recognize that math for us, and it will read that math out loud to us. Again, you have a small toolbar here. You have the play button, which will read it again. You have more options, which we will talk about in a little bit. And then there is the close button. Now, if you think about that, that's pretty great that it was able to take that, because this is handwritten math. So it took that and turned it into a digital format. If I want to get rid of this toolbar because it's bothering me, I just press the arrow up. Oh, let me move it so we can see it. And I can press hide EquatIO. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to talk about in G Suite apps. So I'm going to go into a Google Doc. And again, I'm going to follow that same procedure. I'm going to look for that blue diamond in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to press on it. And this time, EquatIO is going to show up as this toolbar down here at the bottom. And it doesn't matter if you're in a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, slides, or even a Google drawing, this toolbar is what you're going to see. Okay, we're going to start by going in and looking at the settings. So we find the settings under this blue EquatIO button on the far left side of the toolbar. So we're going to click on that. And then up here at the top, we're going to find options. So let's click on options. And the first thing we're going to see is your account version. So there is free accounts for teachers, but because YRDSB pays for it, regardless of whether or not you're a student or a teacher, you should see the premium version here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at math options. So this is really kind of the meat and potatoes of the settings. So the first thing you're going to see is the font size. So you can do anything from small to extra, extra large. Typically, if I was a student doing math, I would probably want to use small or regular. That way, if I'm using multiple lines and there's a lot of lines, I don't have to worry too much about space. If I'm a teacher and I want to be demonstrating this, I'm going to use large or extra large. So we're going to leave that as regular for now. Languages, you have choices of language of English, United States, United Kingdom, Spanish, and French, français. So if you're teaching math in French, you do have this option as well. The speech engine, I would recommend leaving it as automatic. It is what works best with EquatIO. And then you're going to see a series of buttons down here. Now, typically, you would probably see it look like this the first time you open it. The math button is what's going to allow you to come up with the math symbols. Formulas will turn on formulas for you. So if you're looking for, let's say, area or the quadratic equation or anything like that, that will work. And then chemistry is probably only useful for high school and above, where you're dealing with actual chemical formulas. So we're going to make sure all three of those are turned on. We're going to go to Toolbar Options. This is where you can hide some of the tools if you want. So if you don't want to see something, you can turn it off. And then Profile just tells you who you are. And then About tells you about the program. Okay, once you are happy with your settings, you can press Save. Okay, and that's how you open up EquatIO and how you adjust the settings. So if you have any questions, make sure you use the link below to access the EquatIO video question form. Be sure to leave an email so that we can respond to your question. Thank you for watching.